All right, so we're in a tank on a military base out here, Marine Corps base, after a quick round of golf. Totally normal. It's basically the safest golf cart in the world. It's 6:39 and we're driving to Benny's and special guest today.
You wondered who was behind the camera.
Anyway, we're gonna go hang with Benny today. Sergeant Major Benny Ortiz. I don't know if you've met Benny.
Hi, Benny Ortiz.
Sergeant Major? Sergeant?
Major, just Major.
Just Major.
Yeah.
Benny has been a devoted listener of the podcast. Whenever I would watch Band of Brothers and post a snippet of it, we would always talk about it over iMessage or Instagram. And Benny was like, you should come out to my base and we should play golf. So that's where we're going. We're going to Twentynine Palms Golf Course, which doesn't come up on a map because it's not public and you need a pretty, I would say, moderate background check to play the course, which, as you know, is obviously my thing. I've played a military course in India and Hawaii. So right here in my home state, I'm pretty excited to spend the day with Benny. Whatever's gonna happen, I think the main idea from my perspective and from Benny's perspective is really just to see what life on the base is like. And I don't know, just meet a lot of interesting people who love golf and love serving their country. All right, so we're walking up. We're about an hour late. The background check took quite a minute at the security gate, but here we go. So we were talking about how big the base is, and Benny, I think might have been an understatement when you said this is the biggest base. It's bigger than the biggest base.
Yeah, it's quite literally the biggest base the Marine Corps owns. Probably one of the biggest bases in the military, at least top 10 for sure. We are on the golf course just before we get out to the training area, sort of the last piece of civilization before you get out into the desert to do all the weird stuff we do.
This is the end of the earth.
This is the end of the earth, for the most part.
Great, that's where my ball's gonna go in a minute.
Yeah.
I describe this place, well, this is definitely our little desert oasis paradise, if you will. It's a fun course to play, and as you can see, the weather is perfect for golf all the time. And obviously, I'm sure you saw the signs coming in, but this is the premier combat training facility that we have in the country. This is what we call a challenge coin. Picked up the one here from Marine Corps Base 29 Palms for you guys and your team. A little something to put on display back in your office, so it's got our little 29 Palms logo on it on one side, and then the Marine Corps Eagle, Lobe, and Anchor, as he just described for you.
Here we have, the title is Gunner?
It is.
Okay, Matt.
Matt.
I'm curious to know if you can help me identify, you're an expert on weapons.
That's what they say.
I'm curious if you can help me identify, in my car, what would make the best weapon? I have a feeling it might just be a 9-iron.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And if it was a 9-iron, how would you use that as a weapon most efficiently?
Swinging, definitely. Yeah.
Overlapping or standard grip?
Standard grip. Yeah, get more power.
And here we have Scout. You are the ringer of the group.
So they say.
Why do you get that title?
Came out from a golf tournament we played out here. We won it pretty easily. So.
What was the gap between second and first?
I think it was 8 strokes.
Damn.
It was pretty substantial.
Do you have a handicap?
Yes. Not proud to say it right now because I've been playing much golf. Probably about a 7.
Okay, anyone better than a 7 here? All right. Not proud to say it, but he's still the best. Let's go play golf. How do you feel about your first shot, Alex? You were a little nervous.
I was way nervous. I've had like 5 people at the tee box with me ever before, so having everybody stare you down is a little uncomfortable.
Your experience in the Marines briefly entails what?
I'll say randomness, if I could put it in one word. So, helicopter pilot. I've done everything from maintenance to operations to logistics, acquisitions now.
So, how does this, you said you were nervous, relate to flying a chopper in combat?
This is way more nerve-wracking.
No way. I don't believe you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the adrenaline in the moment. You're trained for that. So, some of the missions we flew, you're flying in, it's nighttime.
you're watching rockets come in, bombs be dropped, and you're about to kick 24 Marines out the back. And like, I get goosebumps just thinking about it right now. Like, it's not stressful. It's just like in the moment, all you're thinking about is doing the job. Having like 20 people stare you down while you're trying to swing a golf club is a little nerve-wracking.
Benny's gonna go through the origin story here. Let's hear it.
So before Erik was verified with the little blue check mark, I was
OG Erik.
He was OG Erik.
OG.
Like, back in the day, Erik. Like, he was. So I got a recommendation on Instagram of, hey, do you want to be friends with this guy because you watch a lot of Adventures in Golf? I'm like, yeah. And one day Erik posts this. Some dude in his neighborhood, I guess, had a Wu-Tang license plate. I just shot him a note because I love Wu-Tang. I was like, you best protect your neck.
Tell me a little bit about Desert Winds, the course, the origin, etc.
Yeah, so it started in 1968 as a 9-hole course. The back 9 was actually the first 9 that was built around here. I couldn't find anything on the architect. His name kind of eludes me. But yeah, so this was the original 9, and then it wasn't until the 90s that they added the front 9. And that's how it kind of became 18 holes.
You got any questions about Random Golf Club, Benny?
You know, I just feel like I've always been here. I just now kind of physically showed up.
You were there for the beginning of it. You were there when Random Golf Club didn't exist, and now you're here when it does.
This thing just kind of grew legs.
Yeah.
Now there's RGCs all over the place.
People are setting up their own.
Yeah.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly.
You should know that. If you're watching this and you want to do it, just set it up. Just post it on one of my comments on one of my photos and just say, who wants to do an RGC in Atlanta? Whoa. I get no warning about, is it a par 3?
It's a par 3.
Who's got the most hole-in-ones?
Yeah.
Who's got the Scout? Where are you at?
I got a big donut for hole-in-one.
Put it on the green here, and you're doing good.
Right.
So the Marines is about managing expectations.
Exactly.
Scout, how many hole-in-ones you got?
0.
What?
None.
Anyone have one?
Nope. Negative.
Alex?
I've got one.
There you go.
T-box is yours. All right, boys, let's go.
T-box is yours. You're up.
Scott, what's your department here? What are you working in?
I'm a logistics officer.
Okay.
So pretty much I'm with an infantry battalion, making sure they have where they're at, what they need to have, and are sustained to be there. It's the short-term answer.
So in my industry, you're like a producer, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't have a hole-in-one.
Nah. Have not.
Where are you from?
North Carolina.
All right. Benny, this is your first time on Ace Cam?
First time on Ace Cam.
Well, you were we did it at North Ranch.
Yeah, but I don't think I played a par 3 with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
What's the strategy?
For this particular par 3?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is generally, if you can, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Sometimes words don't even really explain what you want to do in the game of golf.
Pretty basic stuff. See that?
Yeah, that was good.
I did the.
It looked way better than it was, I'll tell you that. Any hot takes on the experience of your first real Random Golf Club experience?
I don't know. You just get to meet all kinds of different people, and try not to hit each other's golf balls. Could playing in mass groups be the future of the game?
I've actually never thought of it that way. To me, it's just kind of something fun that we get to do when we ask. What's an EOD specialist?
Guys, explosive ordnance disposal. Yeah. They defuse the bombs.
So we're getting close-ups of what may be a golf ball, may not. It's a suspicious package. It's small and round, and it causes a lot of frustration to millions of people.
It's a golf ball.
You can 100% confirm it's a golf ball?
It's a golf ball.
Very good, very good. I'll hit it then, or I'll try. What's the Marine equivalent of getting up and down?
Rounds on target.
Rounds on target. What does that mean?
That means that you hit what you were aiming at. Aim small, miss small.
I like that.
That's it.
That's great.
It's really that
Yeah.
simple. Just do that.
Yeah, they're both very dangerous.
That's right. Incredibly
Right,
dangerous.
right.
Yeah.
This is Random Golf Club at its best. This is golf at its best. All right, walking up to the first annual Hit the Tank competition, I think we're calling it. First looks at the driving range here at Desert Winds, I'm seeing a large mobile shade unit which is fantastic in the desert, and it's grass, which is great, and we're seeing about 6 tanks out there lined up and ready to get fired upon. All right, who's gonna take the first shot? You gotta hit it in the air, that's the only rule. I think you gotta fly it there. I wanna hear it ding, I wanna hear it loud. Nobody hit the tank, but we definitely had a great day. And I don't really have some closing thoughts. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to add to this?
I certainly don't. That was painful finishing off trying to hit that target. I was hitting better targets out on the course. That's a small target, but man, it was an exciting day. I enjoyed the ride, except for that end right there. That was pretty embarrassing.
For who are you and where are we?
All right, I'm First Lieutenant Graves. I'm the Alpha Company Acting Company Commander for 1st Tank Battalion, 1st Marine Division. And this is the tank ramp. This is 1st Tank Battalion, and this is where all the magic happens.
Let's go.
This is our M4 Sherman Leisure Lady. She is a World War II tank. If you've seen the movie Fury, if you're friends with Brad Pitt maybe, this is the Sherman that we keep here at the tank ramp. There's a plaque dedicated to all the Marines that served in World War II. This is it. She's out of commission right now. We don't ride her anymore, but we have just recently restored her. New paint. So similar to the M1A1 tanks that we'll be getting in today, they've got their driver's hatch. The driver will get inside there, and they'll look through the periscopes, and that's how they see.
So you're saying the technology isn't all that different?
No, not at all.
This is 60, 70, 80 years old.
Yes, and the M4 Sherman still use hydraulics, the same as we use today.
That's incredible.
These tanks are very maintenance heavy. So as you can see, we have our wash rack here. So you can see right there, we have some of our M1A1 Abrams tanks, as well as our Mike 88 tank retriever.
Mike 88 tank retriever. That's
Yes.
a tow truck for a tank?
Absolutely.
We're getting ready to get our jumpsuits on. Fire resistant, what's the wording we're using?
Fire resistant.
I just feel like an aviator right now. A land pilot, that's what they call it.
Top Gun.
Alex, I'm pretty sure my name's Maverick in this movie.
We'll see.
It's a big tank. That's not like a baby tank.
The pride and joy of the United States Marine Corps right here. M1A1 Abrams, main battle tank.
All right, so this station right here, this is the loader's hatch, and then right next to it would be the tank commander's hatch, or TC's hatch as we call it.
Okay.
And then the gunner actually sits right below, like in front, below the TC. You'll see it once we hop in there.
Whoa, we're in here now. Let's go.
So, obviously the main gun's right here. If I was the loader, right, I need to load the main gun. So what I do is I would hit this switch. This door opens, and this is where we store all the main gun ammunition.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're in a tank on a military base out here, Marine Corps base. It's basically the safest golf cart in the world. Woo! That was fun. So when this thing takes off, that's a jet engine and it's gonna release 900 degrees?
Absolutely. It gets really hot and it's an extremely powerful engine. I believe up to 1,500 pounds-feet of torque. So.
And in the wintertime, you use that as a heater, you said?
Oh, absolutely. We used to cook our MREs on there too. We'll put them right
No
through
way,
the grill.
really?
Absolutely, yep.
How is this for your first time seeing a random golf club come together? What are your takeaways on what it actually is?
Yeah, so it feels like what golf should be like, right? It's community. Everybody's got their own little kind of pockets that end up being like where their ball lands, right? So you could be hanging out with 3 or 4 folks like off the tee, but your ball lands in a completely different spot from the group you teed off with. And the best part with RGC is that all of the groups end up converging sort of right in front of the green, and then everybody walks onto the green together and steps off together, right? So, I mean, it's a metaphor for the journey of golf, right? So, yeah, I think that's what the heart and soul of RGC is.